and you do kind of see the most toxic examples of things. That's the stuff that gets views, whether it's toxic masculinity or toxic femininity. And I think that is a big challenge. We've put so much emphasis on how bad men are. You're capable of violence. You're going to mistreat women. You're a danger to society. But we actually also have developed a toxic feminism as well, which says women are better than men. We don't need men. Men are good for nothing, useless slobs who are completely add nothing to society. If anything, they detract. And so I can understand why kids today are confused, conflicted, and falling into some of these destructive ideologies because, as you say, Holly, what are the examples for them? Where are they learning what healthy masculinity and healthy femininity looks like?
Yeah, the issue of our boys and young men has been an increasing one now for a number of years. I think it was captured really well with that Netflix drama last year of adolescence. I really liked that. I encouraged parents to have a look at that, even if it is just skilling up in some of these language of incels and the language that they hear online. You need to know about it. But our boys are lost, and I agree, Freya, with you. I think that part of it is that when they're told so many times that they are the problem, that it is masculinity is toxic, and if you add to that, if you're a white male and all that comes with the guilt of being a white male and privilege, at some point they're going to say, well, fine, that's who I am. And they're going to lean into that culture. And of course, there are many platforms now just sitting there waiting in dark corners of the web to encourage that. So it is a big problem. I think that they're lost in their identity. They're lost in their role. You know, men these days, in terms of their masculinity in relation to women, have really lost what it means to be a good man. And, you know, even the idea that we have that word toxic before them. I mean, masculinity in itself is a positive thing. It shouldn't always been associated with a bad thing. And I agree, I think it has become like that, and I think women have to take responsibility for our role in that. So it is worrying as someone who's raising a young boy, and you're raising young men, Holly. I do consider that and how we can portray those healthy relationships.
What about the young women? I'm just going to ask you to put your child psychology hat on here, that young girls have this distrust of women, have these feelings towards women. It just seems to me so dangerous that that girls are growing up not even trusting their own sex and their own identity.
I honestly think it's just a whole heap, as you said, of confusion. I think what the internet does is provide a whole information dump to everyone, and for every view that you'll get a counter view, you'll get radical views. In there you might get a sensible view, but you're consuming all of it all day, and our brains weren't meant to do that. We've never consumed information. I call it like drinking from the fire hose. Every day we're consuming this, and our brains weren't meant to do that. So they're hearing all these messages and they're not just being allowed to grow up in a normal developmental way.